Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for my weekly video. This week I decided to do something a little bit fun, kind of a little personal too. My top 10 weirdest moments at like residential PHP treatment across country. So before I get into that, please subscribe if you haven't, please like the video if you do, and please also turn on the notifications so you get my weekly videos. So let's begin. So my first one started, it's called the frog trouble. Two girls, we were all outside, it was late at night after dinner before second snack. We're all chilling. On the side there's this like little side door that has like a little roof over it, like a awning, and some tree frogs like to hide up in that place. And two girls that were in treatment really love tree frogs. They went to go catch some tree frogs. I wanted to go see what the excitement was about because I like to be where the excitement is. The TA that's on duty sees me going around the corner. She comes out. She's like, get back in here. And the other two that went over there, get them back in here. So we all had to go back in. And she was like, you guys have to sit in here. And I have to watch you. You guys can't go outside anymore. So we had to spend a solid hour sitting in the little living room of the residential center, being watched by a TA while the other girls got to sit outside, enjoying the fresh air. Because we were bad and went to look for tree frogs. Yeah. That was the day before I left for residential. I left for PHP, so I'm a good girl. The next one actually is within my first like month and a half of residential. I was, using behaviors very strongly. One was hiding food, and I had hidden food at one second snack, which second snack is about 8:30 at night. And one of the girls like saw this. Like everybody, all the girls knew I was doing it, but one of the girls like directly came up to me afterwards, like right after we put our plates on the island, and said, pointed at the plate and said, "You can't do that." Like she literally stopped me and just said straight up. She pointed at the plates and said, "You can't be doing that. You can't be hiding food. Like you need to stop this." And she legitly did that in front of everybody. And the TA that was there with us and had snack with us, I started crying. I was like, because I was not expecting it. I was like, okay, I got away with it one more time. We all good. And then all of a sudden, boom, she literally walked up to me. She said, I was like, but the next one is when I was first there, we had two clients that were a little higher needs and one-on-ones than like the rest of us, and for like health and other reasons. And it was a chaotic night. We didn't have dinner until like an hour after we were supposed to. Scissors were being thrown. It was a chaotic night. So at 9 o'clock, the art therapist that's with us literally sat us all down to have a powwow at 9 o'clock at night. We hadn't even had a snack yet. Snack's supposed to be at 8 o'clock. We hadn't even snack yet. It was like 9:30. And she sits us down all in the living room of the residential place. And like is like, okay, this should not be happening. Let's sit down and vent and just get this out and figure something out. That's like the only time we've ever had that kind of thing. Like literally at 9 o'clock, she's just like, everyone, living room, we need to let everything out and just talk about this and get this crap figured out because this cannot be happening. So that was very interesting. The next one, move-in day. So we knew we were going to be moving eventually to the new residential house that's literally 2 feet away that they built. We knew it would be happening soon. We figured probably a month. We have phone time from 4 to 5:15. Okay. At 5:15 we turn our phones. The therapist is like, "Oh yeah, we're moving out to dinner." And we're like, "Okay, what?" So we had to pack everything in whatever we could find and then haul it to the new house. we didn't have dinner. Well, after dinner, we didn't have second snack until legitly 10:30 at night. We didn't get in bed until 11:30 that night. It was insane. And after dinner, one of the girls needed extra help. So before we moved everything, the therapist took her into a room by herself, one-on-one. We were just singing and playing the piano. Girls banging it out, you know. One of the girls looks at something on the floor by this fake plant right by the piano and goes, we all go over. I think it's a spider because she's like, ugh. It's a bag of an Kleingens throw up just sitting behind this fake plant. It was a good night. The next one. Oh, so some of you may not know, but some of you may. I went from residential to PHP, and then after a week of PHP, it went bad. So I had to go back to residential for 3 weeks, and then go back to PHP for a month and a half-ish. And when I went back, one of the things they wanted me to do before I could move back to PHP was to order food with the dietitian and my therapist. And from a restaurant, they would go pick it up, bring it back. We would all eat, and the three of us would eat in this room by ourselves. So we ordered, and I'm a vegetarian. You don't know that. And so we ordered some food, and the dietitian wanted me to try tofu for the first time. I said, well, I want to prove to them I can do this. Let's do it. Tried it and spit it back out. Okay, well, I ate the first bite, and then we're about to take a second bite. She's like, just kidding, Libby. This is actually really gross tofu from this place, so never mind. Because tofu, she told me, can be either really good or really bad. Not really any in between. So that was fun. One only time I tried tofu, and it was really gross. Yeah. The other one was, we have the clinical director of, the treatment center. And you don't really see her that, at all. So my therapist was 20 minutes late for my one-on-one session, picking me up. I'm like, huh. She comes in, and she's like, the clinical director and I would like to see you. And I'm like, oh, but I probably should have suspected it because I had been doing behaviors and blatantly disregarding any redirection from staff. Standing 24/7, hiding food, the whole 10 yards. Thank you, dude. Don't know if you heard that honking, but some guy passing honked. And that's the first time I met her. You know when your therapist come in and say, oh yeah, the clinical director and I, we need to talk. I literally would bother me my pants. It was bad. I ended up getting my phone taken away for a week. Yay! But we'll pretend to be happy about that. So at the new house, there's one staff there. At both houses, but this happened at the new house. One staff and me just didn't vibe. Didn't like her. We didn't vibe, didn't like her. Plain and simple. And we ended up, she was working by herself one weekend, and things between us got a little too much, and I ended up walking out of the house to the horses on the other side of the property. She ended up having another dietary aide sit with the girls while she went to get me, and then she threatened, she's like, if that dietary aide didn't come in, I would have to call the police to come get you. And then she had to call my therapist, and my therapist talked to me, and they took my phone away again. I got my phone taken away 4 times. Pretty sure it's 4 times. I lost track. Let me tell you, it was not a good day. Another one is on Tuesdays and Thursdays for a snack at 3 p.m. We have what's called joy food. So you make a list of foods that you love but your eating disorder is terrified of, whether that may be chocolate covered raisins or cheesecake or chips. You would make a list, and then the dietary would give you one of those for your snack. My first joy food snack I knew was coming. Walk in after a hard session, and it's one of the scariest things on my list. A big piece of French silk cream pie. I legitly started crying, and everyone else had finished their joy food snack because I was sitting and talking with my therapist. Everyone else had finished. I was the only one there, one-on-one with the TA, because the TA has to sit there and watch you eat it. I just started crying. I'm sitting here literally sobbing, snot running down my nose while I'm eating this piece of goodness that my eating disorder is like hating me for eating, and it's just, I was like crying, like wiping my face, trying not to get snot and tears in my food, and bless the TA soul. Like, she saw I had a few pieces of like crumbs from the crust left, and she just said, I normally it wouldn't have passed, but she just said screw it, because you could tell, like, she just sat down next to me, rubbed my back, talked to me, calmed me down, and then let me go. Thank goodness. That was fun. And the next one is, so when I first got there, you could shower at night or in the morning, depending on, like, it would be half and half. So I was showered in the morning, but one of the girls wanted to switch because it'd be easier for her to do morning showers because of a certain reason that I'm not going to get into because that's personal. And so I switched to night showers. In the morning, the nurse who like supervised our showers didn't care that we sang or made noise when we were in the shower to make sure we weren't doing any behaviors. But at night, the staff cared. So I didn't realize it the first time, and the one staff was like, are you singing? Are you talking? I can't hear you. So then immediately, I don't know why, I just start singing Christmas songs. And then the TA's just like cracking up like, okay, that's what you want to do, boo-boo, as long as I can hear you. So I'm sitting here, I think it was probably in July, singing Christmas songs in the shower at like 8 o'clock at night. You know, it's all good. It's all good. And then, so the last one was so when we moved to the new house, to go to the art room, we had to go to the old house, to the art room that's connected to it, because there was no old, they built this new house, but they didn't build an art room in it. Beats me. So we went there with one of the new therapists. Well, not one of the individual, just like an art therapist. And we went there with her in between lunch and snack on a weekend. It started pouring, like cats and dogs pouring. And we thought Florida, it'd be over in a little bit. Nope, 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 nope. So we sat there waiting, and eventually it got so late, we're like, we have to go back. I wrote, like, we have to go back. It's snack time. Like, we have to. So I think there were like 5 of us, plus the therapist. We just V-lining it as fast as we could from one place to the other. And one of the staff that's coming on for second shift is just driving right by, and we're just like, phew, and they just look at us like, okay. Just laughing like, those poor girls. It's funny. And then, hands down, my favorite memory. My therapist at residential, I had one at PHP and one at res, but at res, she had pink boxing gloves, and once a weekish, she would take me out and we would just box for a few minutes. Like, she would put on the pads and I would just box. And the first time I did it, I was just releasing that anger, and all of a sudden, she just made a comment. And I just made a sassy comment back and started laughing. And I started crying. I was laughing so hard. And then my therapist literally looked at me, dumbfounded. And she just started crying, like getting tears in her eyes. I'm like, she's like, that's the first time I've heard you genuinely laugh since being here. But that's the first time I've seen you genuinely happy since coming here. And that just melted my heart. And she just gave me a hug and said, I am so proud of you. And I'm so glad to see you actually happy. And that like hit me in the feels. But those are some fun memories. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it taught you a little bit about the craziness of what really goes on sometimes at eating disorder treatments. Please subscribe and stay tuned for some more fun videos and give it a like. Bye!